I'm Rob Whitfield with the Orange County Register, and welcome to OC&2 for Wednesday, April 8th. California Attorney General Jerry Brown called it the largest seizure of heroin in state history. Police say 25-year-old Gerardo Medina Hernandez was unloading heroin from false compartments in the wheel well of his Volkswagen into a cooler in Anaheim when he was arrested. 95 pounds of black tar heroin was seized, worth an estimated $10 million on the street. Hernandez has pleaded not guilty to felony drug charges. If convicted, he faces up to 25 years in state prison. Two teenage boys were killed Tuesday afternoon after the silver Ford Mustang in which they were riding slammed into a tree on Live Oak Canyon Road. Investigators believe speeding along the winding road may have led to the deadly wreck, as skid marks about 300 feet long mark the spot where the car skidded off the road. 18-year-old Mark Motley of Trabuco Canyon, the driver, and 17-year-old Zachary Rafferty, a junior at Santa Margarita High School, were both pronounced dead at the scene of the wreck. Today, grief counselors will be at Santa Margarita High School to counsel students who are struggling with the loss. UC Irvine Medical Center is no longer under the threat of losing federal funding after anesthesiologists were caught last year filling out records before surgeries took place. An October inspection found the record-keeping problems had been fixed, but regulators found other health and safety violations that had to be corrected. Now, after a follow-up inspection last month, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services informed the hospital that it now meets the federal standards required to receive millions of dollars for patient care. A Tustin man who had tried to flee to Mexico was convicted this week of committing a $2.8 million fraud by stealing the identities of more than a dozen people who hoped to invest in real estate. Prosecutors say 34-year-old Gene Anthony Franklin Jr. posed as a legitimate real estate investor to secure his victim's personal information, then used the data to buy a home, obtain credit cards, and pay his bills, adding he also scammed a fellow inmate, a convicted murderer, to post his own criminal bail and flee the country. A jury found Franklin guilty of 46 felony counts. He faces a maximum of 73 years in prison when he is sentenced in June. 27 adult rattlesnakes have been captured in the last 2 weeks along San Clemente and San Juan Capistrano hiking and horse trails, prompting San Juan officials to warn residents to be careful. Though rattlesnakes are common this time of year, officials say there are more than usual on the trails right now, perhaps because of a rise in the number of baby rabbits, a favorite food for rattlesnakes. Authorities warn hikers to stay toward the middle of the trail, keeping kids close and dogs on a tight leash. They also suggest carrying a walking stick for moving the snakes if you need to. And you can read more about all of these stories and get your breaking news all day at ocregister.com.